The following podcast contains adult themes, graphic sexual content, strong language, alcohol and drug references, and some infrequent violence. Everything you need for a wild ride.
Here I am again, probably boring you by now, because I hope you all know and remember that this is all fictional. Bella and myself are real. The band we have been inspired to create, but they are all made up and fictional. And most of the events are also fictional. Some of them are inspired by things we've actually experienced. But the story as a whole, fictional. Welcome back to Unruly Confessions, episode 8.
Bloody hell, the responsibility.
I am Nicole.
And I'm Arabella.
Welcome back to our little corner of debauchery.
We like it here. We hope you do too. Welcome back.
And we are on the final part of this 9-hour day that we are working on, that we've been telling you about. So the previous 2 episodes were the part of that, and this is the last part of that.
And it's exciting because we're starting off from my perspective.
Bella's finally going to read.
And Nikki's finally going to do the recap. Ha 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 ha! It's
yes.
not me.
Yes, we both get to be out of our comfort zones. You see, we try all sorts of things here.
Seriously out of our comfort zone. I'm so worried about reading from my perspective. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it sounds good.
And I am so worried about reacting.
We don't have anxiety at all.
No. You would never be able to tell that our kink was hanging out with men telling us what to do.
Because, yeah.
So, last week, during the episode, hell fucking no, it's not foreplay, I got in trouble, shocker, because Mike couldn't find me for an hour and exaggerated just how long he stayed excited, I think. Mike introduced himself to Bella. I hoped he'd make a good impression, and no one understood why it wasn't the other way around. No one.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry. How is it that he has to make the good impression on me rather than the other way around?
Yeah.
But, you know, as besties, we have priorities.
We do. We finally... Bros over hose? Is that how... No? Wait. What?
No, hose over bros.
Whatever. We finally got to experience the first gig on this damn tour from the wings. Bella danced after making faces at me to make me giggle. And hyped up on adrenaline, I hung out with the band in their green room before they went off for a signing. But not before Jason overshared about the state of his equipment. And this is not code for drums.
It is really not.
I went to go get Bella. We hung out in the green room without the band, catching up on the last few days. That was incredibly necessary.
So necessary.
When the band got back, Bella finally got to meet everyone and handled it way better than I did the first time. As you guys will well remember. We told the band how we met in way more detail than they cared for.
As always.
They learned that Bella is as big a fan as them as I am.
I am.
And it displeased Mike greatly to learn that not knowing where my phone is in fact a regular occurrence. I begged the band to let Bella on the tour. They were surprisingly happy to let her tag along, especially Xander, to Bella's happiness. Woohoo! And to my annoyance, Carter. Dickbag. Back on the... Wow. Excuse the brat.
Deep feeling right there. That was a deep feeling.
Back on the bus, we got drunk with the band. Mike and I had vanilla bunk sex due to our intoxication, but he did manage to come on my dress before he fell asleep.
Well done.
I fell out of the bunk and embarrassed myself in front of the rest of the band and Bella. Jason lent me his shirt almost immediately after I said that I had nothing to wear. And Bella allowed me to stash the dirty, dirty dress in her bag, as mine was under the bus.
As best friends do. Mine, luckily, because I came straight from the green room,
hadn't quite made it under there yet, so happy days.
How lucky that is, because otherwise I'd be stuck with the gross dress. And I love how he let that be my problem.
Well, he's asleep. He's a man.
Fair enough.
It's always our problem. It's always our problem.
Speaking of men and our problems, my problem currently is Carter.
Every time it's Carter.
But seriously, though, like, we are like two squabbling siblings with way more sexual tension than siblings. But
not like siblings, but sort of, yes.
Step siblings? No.
No. That you squabble like nothing else. But I honestly think it's more to do with the fact that he can't have you. And he would like that. You've been brought onto this tour for a specific reason. And with me, I'm just there for funsies, so I'm fair game. You were just like, can I bring my friend?
Well, he's definitely going the right way. If what he wants is that.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but actually, I'm not.
She's really not. She fucking loves it. Seriously. She loves all of that sort of argumentative foreplay.
Anyway, we need to be very careful. This could go wrong at any moment. Anyway.
Oh, it really could.
So, not to keep on that for too long. So, that was my first attempt at a recap of episode 7. Now we are on...
Well done, you.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to give Bella her hand at reading episode 8. And it's important to note that this is happening simultaneously as from the last episode, where Mike and I have gone into the bunk, that scene that you guys have already heard. This is happening at the same time, but from Bella's perspective, as she's not with us.
Definitely not in your bunk.
There's no space for 3 people in there.
There's really not. It's very tiny. All right, here we go. Episode 8, Bloody Hell, The Responsibility. All the attention was on me, which was both wonderful and absolutely terrifying. Nicole and Mike had disappeared into the bunk, and I was sitting between all the guys thinking of something good to say. How come you weren't part of the dances from the start of the tour? Jason asked me. Thank God for Jay's curiosity, I thought gratefully. My agency only covers the UK and European territories, I responded. I don't remember seeing you at Sonosphere. Noah remarked, and I definitely would have remembered you, Xander added, to which I tried very hard not to blush, but failed. Honestly, it was very last minute and hush-hush, I admitted. Someone must have dropped out of the tour having just started because my first rehearsal with the other girls was the tech run this afternoon. It's not uncommon for things to be last minute, though. Every break I got, I called Nikki absolutely fuming that she went AWOL.
Sorry.
They laughed. Yes, you with your AWOL-ness.
Sorry.
Be better. Be better.
I try.
They laughed, and I tried to hide just how thrilled I was to be there. I was on a roll, having finally, thanks to Jason, succeeded in finding something to talk about. I didn't even know I was auditioning for the band until I arrived at the audition, I told them. How's that possible? Carter asked me. They keep it on the down low so it doesn't get saturated, I explained. It's not an open audition. I just knew it was for an American metal band. Could have been anyone from Steel Panther to Slayer, I chuckled. When I got to the audition, fully expecting something like Steel Panther, then heard it was you, I shat my pants. They laughed again. Not literally, I added quickly, to which they laughed even harder. Of course not literally. What is that?
I can see why, though. I feel like I would have to say not literally. But then again, this is something I would probably admit to and not you.
Yes, by accident. You would admit to it and you were like, oh my God, I just told you that.
Yep. Yeah.
Not. We assume not literally. Xander assured me, to which I blushed again. I needed to stop blushing so much so he didn't realise he was my favourite. I needed the upper hand in flirting.
I think you're okay, though. Because considering he said, I would have definitely remembered you, you know. I think you've got the upper hand.
I'm a bit of a knob. I'm a bit of a knob who doesn't always figure out someone's flirting with me.
This is true.
With me.
And it is very apparent later on in this story.
Yes. Yes. I am that self-conscious, awkward person that's like, no, surely not me. You must have something wrong there.
Yep.
Of course, when I got the job, I immediately called Nikki. And guess what? She didn't answer her phone. Jason asked, smiling. Nothing. What time was the audition? Noah asked. Around 7 in the evening. Yeah, she was getting ready to watch us, Jason stated. I know, I said, but I sent texts and everything. She ignored the lot of me. Trust me. The murderous intent I had at the time. I was elated that I was making them laugh so often. She seems like hard work. Carter frowned.
Oh,
no.
Dickbag.
I defended immediately. I know, right, dickbag. Back off. Back off. Only I'm allowed to say it. Not you. Not you. She seems like hard work. Carter frowned. No, I defended immediately. I mean, yes, but that's just mostly because she has a lot of erratic energy and it all goes all over the place, you know. But she cares a lot, and damn the fun we've had. Oh, we know. Xander smirked. What do you mean? I asked, frowning. Xander quickly cleared his throat. No, nothing. He stuttered in an unconfident version of himself I couldn't have imagined. Jason's wide grin told a different story. Nikki's been running her mouth, hasn't she? I asked knowingly. Well, yeah. Noah responded, but in her defense...
In her defense.
In her defense.
He's about to pull out a revolver.
I'm shot, sheriff.
Bless you.
Oh my god.
It was gonna happen. Honestly, guys, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I am actually super impressed with Bella's accent. Like, I can't remember my very first episode when I was attempting American accents. That was hard. Now I feel.
My god.
Go on.
No, you do it well.
I don't.
You do it really well.
But at the same time, I now have an issue where my brain is sort of because we do this so often, my brain has sort of taken it. And now sometimes just having dinner with Vince, he's like, why are you Californian now? Dude, pass the butter.
You're slowly becoming. Whereas me, once I go southern, it's very hard to get me out.
It is. But you've been doing super well. It was just there in her defense.
In her defense. Right.
But anyway, let's not dwell on it too long because then you'll get stuck in it again.
Let me try that again. Well, yeah. No responded. But in her defense, we absolutely coerced most of the details out of her.
Nice.
Whatever. I smiled. I'm sure she hasn't told you the really insane stuff. What's the really insane stuff? Jason wanted to know immediately. I'm not as easy to strong arm as Nikki, I told him, especially by the likes of you. To be clear, Nikki is not easy to strong arm, but the band is her weak spot. Mm-hmm. We're not yours. Xander surprised me by asking, no, you are. I smiled, leaving it up to interpretation if I meant the band or him personally. Though both were true. Yeah, that's right. How do you like this bus so far? Noah asked curiously. It's not driving you crazy yet? I just got here, I smiled, but I like it. Just wait, Carter said. Weeks on a bus changes you, sometimes in ways you are unprepared for.
What happened to Carter? What happened on this bus?
Something really bad happened.
Something?
He's not okay.
Oh, I have an idea for you guys for this episode. Can you comment what you theorize happened to Carter on this bus that he is so fucked up?
Haunted by. Haunted.
Why is he acting like a moody emo bitch?
Because he is one.
So sorry, I didn't mean that. Please don't come for me, Carter.
All right, here we go. Just wait, Carter said. Weeks on a bus changes you. Sometimes in ways you are unprepared for. I was about to ask him what he meant by that eerie statement when I was distracted by a large shh coming from Nicole's bunk. Jason snorted. A minute later, there was another series of shh, shh in a row. They're not hiding it very well. Noah remarked. Well, if Mike could just shut the hell up himself, I suggested. The rest of the guys laughed. Ooh, I cringed. That was a bit harsh. I do defend Nikki almost to the death. Please don't tell Mike I said that. Relax, Jason smiled. This day and age, women are able to tell men to shut up and not be lobotomized. Oh, Southern again. Here we go.
It was good, though. I liked it.
Thank you very much. It was my turn to laugh. I did not expect that. You'll learn that you always have to expect the unexpected with Jay. Xander told me.
Guys, I think we're just going to have to accept that the band is from a different part of America when Bella reads.
I'm so sorry. I find it really hard to come out the Southern accent once I'm there. I can't hear other accents. I'm just there.
I think, you know what I think we should do? You should do Billy's accent from now on.
Oh my God.
I think it'll be funny.
Yeah. We'll give it a go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think we should.
People, what do you think? Have a vote on that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I smiled at Xander and imagined saw him blush a little. So, have you been dancing long? Xander asked me. I've been dancing since I could walk, I chuckled. But you mean professionally? He nodded. About 2 years after I finished acting school, I answered. I tried my hand at small plays and such, found it wasn't really fulfilling me completely. Then started doing a dancing gig here and there, and before I knew it, I was dancing for bands and in plays, and then suddenly I got offered film as well. Funny how the world works, Xander said, and how we end up where we need to be. Jason agreed. Like, for example, how I was playing for national orchestras in high school, and as a favor to Xander, I played with my friends, when who knew it would turn out to be the best choice I ever made. Xander nudged Jason with his shoulder. Oh, those two.
Friendship. So there's a theme here, guys.
Yes.
There's a pattern in this story.
There is. The next thing we knew, Nicole came flinging herself out of her bunk and onto the bus floor.
Yeah, so if you guys remember, this is the episode. So this is from last week's episode where we do the whole thing where I chat and everyone, I get a shirt and everything, you know, if you listen to the recap. This happens here, and then away I go.
Yes, once Nicole was safely back in her bunk, it suddenly dawned on me. Is there a bunk for me? Sure, there's an empty one at the end. Carter pointed it out.
Oh, lovely. Look how he helps you.
So helpful. Such a sweet boy.
Oh,
Such a sweet boy.
Such a sweet boy. I'm not jealous. No, I'm
not.
not.
No, not at all. Never. Sure, there's an empty one at the end. Carter pointed it out.
Did you say Carter?
Unless you'd rather I think I did.
Freudian slip. Cunter.
Cunter.
I love that. That's he's now
done.
done.
Forever his name shall be Cunter.
Sorry, go on.
Let me try that again. Sure, there's an empty one at the end. Carter pointed it out. Unless you'd rather share with someone. Jason winked. I'd best behave at least for now, I answered vaguely, trying to save myself from too directly telling Jason that I couldn't possibly do anything with him, as he was Nicole's favourite. Anyway, I'm gonna bed, Carter announced. Long day tomorrow, and it's late. Old man, Jason called him jokingly. Carter didn't respond, but chuckled his way halfway up the hallway to his bunk.
Really? So Jason can call him an old man, all is well. If I call him an old man, he shits the bed.
Well, let's be honest, this went slightly differently than the last time, didn't it?
What do you mean?
You may have said things before that might have triggered it a little bit more.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't the old man thing. Got it.
No, it didn't help, it was just the icing.
It was the icing after I told him that he was being a sexually frustrated little boy.
Yes, and the fact that you were pointing out he was drinking.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't.
Oh, shit. I did a lot of things wrong.
Yeah, you did.
Whoops. All right, old man it is then.
You were a sassy wee bitch. All jokes aside, Xander stated, we should probably all go to bed. Fine, Jason related. Bella, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure we can continue tomorrow. Sure thing, Jay, I smiled. I got up from the sofa as well. Well, good night, you guys. Good night. Noah and Jason got up and went to their bunks pretty quickly. I glanced at Xander, who still hadn't moved. He sighed. They left me with all the fucking glasses. I can do that. That's kind, he smiled, but I've got it. Let me at least give you a hand, I offered, starting to gather the glasses. That way I get to spend a moment longer with you. I bit my lip as I realized I gave away some of my feelings, but was happy to see that he nodded gracefully. I appreciate that, he said. Then again, we could always wake Nicole and make her do it. Do it.
That was great, though. I actually thought he would speak. He would really speak like that. He has a drawl, Xander.
Yeah.
You know? He has a drawl, I think, that you
true.
nail most of the time. So I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was badass.
Yeah.
Go again.
All right.
Let's hear it again.
I appreciate that, he said. Then again, we could always wake Nicole and make her do it. Acts of service is part of her deal. I grasp that you are joking, I told him, but don't do that. She will quite literally harm you if you wake her to wash dishes.
Correct. He would be a dead man.
So dead. I have seen the flying squirrel in action, and she is terrifying.
Save the band from killing their guitarist. So sorry.
Yes. Yes. She would wake up after that episode and be like, oh shit, what did I do?
For sure. For sure.
Yes. He chuckled. I figured. Xander grabbed the bottle of whiskey and a few bottles from the table and threw it in the recycling. I rinsed the glasses and Xander dried them and put them away while we talked about the shows lightheartedly. When we had finished, we stood awkwardly watching each other for a few seconds. I couldn't bear it any longer, so I said, okay, good night. Good night. The next moment, he leaned in and gave me a kiss right on the lips. I was so surprised that I hit the back of my head against the cupboard.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to laugh at your mess.
My spazzy moment. I was so surprised that I hit the back of my head against the cupboard. Shit, he said. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. He clearly misunderstood my reaction. No, Xander, it's all right, I told him. I was just surprised. I clearly had a few too many, he said bashfully. Right, I'll see you in the morning. With that, he disappeared into his bunk, and I was left feeling a bit dissatisfied. A bit? I was completely, hugely dissatisfied.
The most undissatisfied you've ever been.
Ever in my life. What a twat am I?
Oh, no, I get it, though.
God.
Can you imagine, though, the guitarist, the lead guitarist of your favorite band, surprise kissing you?
And I sort of go,
Yeah, but at the same time,
who does that?
Can you be blamed? I mean, you weren't expecting it. It's huge. It's a big deal.
It really was.
You know?
I've been in love with him since I was, 12, 13?
Gosh, really? That's kind of gross. He must have been, how old was he, 21?
Yeah.
Bella!
I was a teenage girl. You fancy the people that were... That's normal, you twat.
Sick.
Not like he was dating me.
You're sick. No, I'm kidding. I know. I'm just making... I know. I was fat. Look, I have a story of having a crush when I was a literal little girl on people who were 40, so...
Yeah.
It's just because I didn't know. I didn't know anything about it at the time, you know. You were 13, but...
Yeah.
You are right, I'm just being a twat. But I thought it was funny.
That's the normal time to start... In fact, earlier is slightly normal to start developing crushes on guys.
True. Well, I can admit that when I first got a crush on Jason, I was a literal adult.
Yes, you were.
It was 2008. How old was I in 2008, Bella? 20.
20.
I was a literal adult, and he was 27. Yeah.
Yeah.
27, 28, maybe.
Exactly. So, Xander is...
Same age.
What, 9 years older than me?
Oh, yeah, you're younger than me. I forget.
Yes, even though in this we're the same age.
Oh,
I can't remember why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think because we forget we're not the same age.
Oh, yeah. So in fictional land, we are the same age.
Because it just makes more sense to us that way.
Xander is very confusing to me because he's so...
Yes.
I find him, personally, he's lovely and all, but I personally find that he often comes across as arrogant. And he has the right to be, because he's incredibly good. But, like, the thing is, this is so strange, because he's, like, so confident, and the next moment he's so not confident.
Not. Exactly. And it's sort of like, I kind of get it, though, because I'm quite similar in a way.
Yeah. You guys are very evenly matched.
Yeah, I seem super confident and everything when I'm with people.
Yeah.
And stuff. But really, I am just a terrified gremlin.
Yep.
Behind it all.
And
just going,
and I absolutely, I am confident, but maybe too much. Because I will just say
you're
whatever.
The right amount.
No.
Exactly.
No, too much.
Well,
way too much.
That's Terrence's fault, though, you saying too much. You're a drunk little mouth pirate.
That's true. Like my French friend, who just literally before we started recording today told me the French expression "tu mets les pieds dans les plats," which means you walk over the food, which means I take a really delicate situation and I make it brutal.
Yes, you do.
Bless him.
You put your foot in your mouth.
Yep.
A lot.
I woke up the next morning with what I thought was the worst hangover of my life so far. I'm such an exaggerator. Probably not.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every time. This is the worst. It's the worst ever. I'm never drinking again.
Yep. I woke up the next morning with what I thought was the worst hangover of my life so far. Are you awake? Mike asked from somewhere behind me, which meant he was outside the bunk somewhere. I think I'm dead. We're dying. Awesome, he chuckled. Do you want coffee? Yes, God, yes. So easy to please after as well with the coffee.
Yes.
I slipped out from the bunk. Mike frowned at Jason's shirt that I was still wearing. You didn't exactly give me much choice, remember? No worries.
Sassy.
What?
I said so sassy.
I know, but I haven't had coffee yet.
You have not.
He's very smart to offer me coffee right off the bat.
Yes.
Are you awake?
He brings it.
Do you want coffee?
He's learning.
Very fast. Bless. No worries. He handed me a mug of coffee. Thank you so much, I said immediately, taking a huge gulp and yelling. Ah! Yeah, it's hot, he said. It's fucking coffee. So sorry. But yes. It's fine, I said, ignoring the burning in my throat. I need coffee more than I need my throat. I need your throat. Oh. Oh. Flirty this morning, aren't we? I walked to the back of the bus where everyone but Jason was sitting at the tables. I love that. I go, ooh, flirty, and then I walk away from him.
Yeah, you're just like, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
You're so flirty. Goodbye.
See ya!
I sat down. I also love that I noticed Jason wasn't there. Everyone's there, but
Obviously.
Jason's not here.
Of course you were. Every time you notice him first out of everyone.
That is true. But then everyone does.
And when he's not
huge.
Yeah. But also, when he's not there, you look around going, where is he?
Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. I sat down with my coffee and noticed everyone else was nursing a coffee as well. Everyone besides Bella, who was drinking tea instead. Whack job.
Every damn time.
So weird. So weird.
British.
Yeah. Spot the Brit amongst us.
Yes.
Without the noise. Yes.
Yes.
5 minutes later, Jason came half dancing, half singing down the hallway.
How the hell are you so chirpy?
Bella asked, her tone somewhere between admiration and annoyance. I'm glad you asked that question, Bella, Zonda said. You see, Jay is actually mostly metal now. In more ways than one, Jason grinned. Since his near-death accident, they had to fill his skull with metal, so I'm sure nothing has an effect on him anymore. Zonda joked. That and I might still be drunk, Jason said. High-fived Zonda and ruffled my hair before heading up the bus to grab a coffee. I tried to unsuccessfully hide my red cheeks. I mean, they're actually red right now, and
They literally are.
And I'm just
It's
reading.
hilarious.
I'm just reading.
Bright red.
Oh, he has a lot of special effects on me.
Yes.
Mike
The
crossed.
shaking.
Yeah. Mike crossed his arms and stared at me, smirking. What? I asked, not looking directly at him. Do you have a thing for Jay? Mike teased. What do you mean? That question could not possibly have a different interpretation, Carter pointed out. Oh. Why? He's always on my case.
He's so sassy. I love it. I love it.
I don't. There's nothing, I said quickly. He's kind to me. You do blush whenever he comes within a meter of you, Carter added again. That's not true, I said. Not every time.
You have nothing to worry about, Mike.
Bella came to my rescue.
If there was something to know, I'd know about it.
Bella and Zonda seemed a little awkward around each other that morning. I made a mental note to ask her about it later. What time are we in Lyon? I asked, sipping at my second coffee on Mike's lap 5 minutes later. He's put me on his lap because he's like, if you're going to be weirdly blushy around Jason, I'm putting you somewhere near me.
Yes.
Show you who's boss.
Staying with me.
Lyon show is in 2 days. Tonight's show is in Bordeaux. Oh, I said, surprised. I lost the show somewhere. I thought we were going straight to Lyon. No, that's tomorrow, Jason told me.
If the Lyon show is in 2 days, what are we doing tomorrow when we get to Lyon then?
Bella asked curiously. Not much, Zonda told her. Chilling mostly, writing, whatever. We do have a photo shoot in a few days. For the press, for the tour, you know, Zonda added in Bella's direction.
Of course.
She replied, looking dreamily into his eyes. So, like, how does she not manage to blush all the time? Yeah, Bella, how?
'Cause I don't. I'm hardcore. I don't know.
It's true that you don't blush much at all,
I
though.
don't. I'm not much of a blusher.
Yeah, you don't do awfully embarrassing things like every 5 minutes of your life.
I do. I do fairly embarrassing things, but I still don't blush. However, my face does flush when I have wine or things like that. I overheat a lot, so I get a very red face.
You overheat a lot, but you don't blush. I'm just like blushing all day.
Yes, you are.
And I'm not even like, I'm not as pale as you either. I'm like more olivey, and yet I blush so often.
Yes, I am the pale one.
It makes zero sense. Anyway. Where's the photo shoot? I asked. A graveyard in Milan, Mike responded. Well, that sounds exciting, I exclaimed. Are we going with you? If you behave. I always behave, I insisted. When do I not behave? Don't push it, Mike chuckled. I giggled. Don't fret, Mr. Solomon. I have no intention of misbehaving today. Damn, Carter said sarcastically. Well, then there's always tomorrow. I mean, what? Why? It's so unnecessary. Even Carter couldn't bother me that morning. I had my best friend on tour. As though...
Yeah, you did.
Yep. As though she could hear my thoughts, Bella winked at me.
For the audience members, I am now winking at Nicole. Because I can.
Thanks.
Apart from I can't really. I'm terrible at winking.
Yep. True.
So why are we roaming Lyon tomorrow then instead of Paris? Paris would have made more sense.
You know, Zonda said, I completely agree. This is why I'd like a woman in charge of the tour again. Carter snorted. We all remember what happened last time. He cast a look in Zonder's direction. I still think women get in the way of our professionalism. And I think it gets in the way of his professionalism.
Yeah.
Like he's the
only one that seems to have like...
blah. He's the one who seems to have lost all control of his politeness. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Carter snorted. We all remember what happened last time. He cast a look in Zonder's direction. I still think women can get in the way of our professionalism.
Why didn't you ask to stay in Paris?
Bella asked quickly to change the subject. Well, we've been there so many times, Jason said. We're exploring some new options. There's always more to see, Mike agreed. To be fair, Lyon is absolutely lovely, I told them all. Bordeaux too. I can show you guys things if there's nothing to do.
Nikki, have you called your parents yet?
Oh no, what? Mike asked alarmed. I never charged my phone, but I should really call my parents. The guys laughed.
You really should. I may or may not have called them when I couldn't get a hold of you for 2 whole days. I also called both your brothers.
It's not funny, you guys, I scolded, trying to get off Mike's lap. He held me there easily by my hips. Come on, let go of me, I begged. They'll be really worried. We have a call at least once a week.
I charged your phone. Present, hungover Bella. Thanks, past, drunk Bella.
You're amazing, I called, struggling against Mike's grip on my hips. He let go of me and I hurried to hug Bella enthusiastically, despite my hangover.
It's on the table next to the portable gas stove.
What would I do without you? I laughed.
What would I do without you?
As I walked over to find my mobile, I heard Mike ask Bella. So she's quite close to her parents? I don't know why he's asking that like he wants to murder me.
Like, no, I didn't think it was like that. I think he's just curious about this family dynamic.
Okay, that's good, because otherwise it just sounds like, oh shit, someone's gonna notice she's gone.
Also,
damn it!
You brought your best friend on tour. Someone else might notice you've gone.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just kidding. I know he's not a murdery type. Okay, moving on.
Oh, those murdery types.
No. It came out weird. Guys, it's very clear to know that we're kidding, right? Like, there is no murder or actual violence in kink. Nothing.
None.
The BDSM community is the safest place you will ever do sex. I don't do with any other community because it's safe.
Exactly. There are rules that you play by. There are, it's all put in to make sure everyone is safe, happy, and cared for.
Yeah. There were multiple missed calls and messages from my parents and my brothers. I dialed my dad's number. Hello? My dad answered inquiringly. Nicole? Hello, Daddy. I said, hello, Daddy.
Hello, Daddy.
Well, hello, Daddy.
Daddy. Hello, Daddy.
Well, hello, Daddy. I'm so sorry that it's been so very long. Sorry, no, that's absolutely not what happened. So sorry, we've gone on a tangent.
To your daddy.
Very kind, Daddy. Anyway, hello? My dad answered inquiringly. Nicole? Hello, Daddy, I said in Afrikaans, my native language. Where are you? He asked, annoyed. We expected to see you back before your flight. Was your flight not meant to be yesterday? Also, Bella called yesterday. She didn't even know where you were, except that you had gone to a festival the day before. Where are you? It was, I answered, and I'm sorry, but I was called back to France for work. You couldn't say that you were on holiday? Well, I could have, but this is important work, I explained. Look, cards on the table. I was invited on a tour. To sing. I had to lie a little. No parent needs the sordid details. No. Wow, really? He sounded impressed, and I breathed a sigh of relief. You remember the posters I had on my walls when I was younger? The band? I asked. Yeah, the heavily tattooed guys. Of course, that's what you'd remember. How did you even meet them? He asked, puzzled. At the festival, I told him honestly. By chance. Sylvia and I won a competition. I chatted to the lead vocalist, and he invited me on tour to sing. Strange, my dad said suspiciously. It seems a bit sudden and impulsive. It's definitely that. You sure you know what you're doing? He asked, concerned. My dad has already figured out. My dad, I didn't say this kind of stuff directly to my dad, but he immediately knows I'm not on the tour to sing.
Yes.
He knows.
He knows.
Of course, trust me, I said quickly, trying to convince both of us. It's a complete dream come true for me. Where are you now? We're on the tour bus, I told him, on our way to Bordeaux. Tomorrow we're going to Lyon. Not far from your house, then. No, about 2 hours or so. Are you going to stop over there? He asked. Could we come see a show with you in it? Just in case. Just to make me a little bit uncomfortable here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure it's worth the effort. I lied again. I'm not singing the whole show with them. Well, if they're that big and famous, he pressed, it is a big deal. You can't make the Bordeaux show, I told him. It's tonight. And the Lyon show's in 2 days. There won't be flights on such short notice.
Bullshit.
But here where we live, there really is only 2 flights a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that. You have to buy your tickets really far in advance.
Yes, but he totally would just fly to the nearest airport and drive.
Fair. We can come to the show after that, he said. Where is it? I'm not sure, I bit my lip thinking. They don't really keep me in the loop of the tour schedule. I just tag along. He sighed. If he didn't know I wasn't singing, he surely does now.
He certainly does now.
He sighed. Are you sure you're safe? Do I have to remind you that I'm 33 years old? No, I trust you, he answered. If you say this is good for you, I believe you. He clearly suspected I was not invited on tour to sing, but decided not to push it any further.
Well
Thank
done,
you, Dad.
Daddy.
I smiled. Hey?
I said, well done, Daddy.
Well done, indeed. Well, he can't do much.
No.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Bella joined the tour last night. She's dancing in the show. This tour does sound chaotic.
Because it is.
Because it is. I mean, it isn't. It's just because of us being there that it sounds chaotic.
Yes.
The
and he
guys
generally
are
knows when
very
it's us
professional.
two.
Yeah.
And plus, your dad knows when it's us two, it usually is slightly chaotic.
Completely. I hope this is coming across for you guys, but when it comes to the work part of the tour, when the guys are rehearsing or there for sound check, well, they don't do their own sound checks, but you know what I mean? When they have to be a place, they're there. The of chaos is just happening around it, right? Where you're just seeing the kind of funky bits, because the other bits are boring. You're just waiting around. Or doing a very good show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just fate finally throwing us what we always needed. If Bella's there, I certainly feel more comforted, my dad said. I'm glad. I will call you every now and again to keep you updated, but we're pretty busy, so I can't always respond to messages. Would you please ask us for a tour schedule so we can at least see where you are roughly? My dad asked. Plus, I'm sure your brothers would come to see a show even if we don't. He made a good point. I could tell my brothers the truth in the way I couldn't tell my parents. They would understand. I mean, my parents would too. You just know, you don't want to give your parents all the details. It's too many details.
Any sort of visuals.
Yes, exactly. No visuals. Sorry, dads. Sorry to all dads.
Yes.
I will ask, I promised. I love you, Dad, but I will need to go. There's a few things to go through this morning. All right, he said. Love you too. I hung up quickly, then leaned against the wall with a sigh. So, I guess it went well? Zonder half stated, half asked, raising his eyebrows. I didn't understand a thing.
You wouldn't. That's a native language, Afrikaans, a language only spoken in South Africa.
You sound so, you're like, you wouldn't. I know things and you don't know things.
I am Hermione Granger.
It did go well, I answered Xander. However, I had to bend the truth slightly. In what way? Mike asked apprehensively. I wasn't going to tell him I'm having sex with you, obviously. Not that directly, I specified. So I told him I'm singing a song with the band on tour. The rest of the band laughed, but Mike frowned. Not the best lie, he judged. That's something he could easily find out is untrue. Plus, surely you're old enough to tell him the truth, or not say anything at all. I'm open with my parents, I told him, but he doesn't need those details. No father wants the image of his daughter with heavy metal fornicators full of sperm.
So true.
They all burst out laughing, including Mike and Bella.
Spot on.
Bella managed to say through her laughter. Well, there you go, I told him. Hope that clears it up for you. Your problem, Mike sighed. He does feel better knowing Bella is here. I smiled in her direction. So that's a win.
Ugh, bloody hell, the responsibility!
We arrived in Bordeaux half an hour later. A little later than anticipated, around 9 o'clock in the morning. After breakfast, everyone disappeared to have a rest before the show, and Bella and I were left to our own devices, but told explicitly by Mike that we were not to leave the hotel under any circumstances. Bella and I then made a very salient point about the fact that there might be a fire. Would he expect us to stay in the hotel and burn to a crisp? He rolled his eyes and did not grace us with a response.
We're not at all annoying.
Nope.
Or pedantic.
Imagine you just want to sleep, you have a show later, and we are just...
We're just doing our thing. Yes.
We're going to make up for it very shortly, don't you
Oh,
worry.
yes, we will.
I was sitting with Bella in her room. Since Bella joined the tour, apparently an extra room was negotiated from the budget. For you, but not for me. I love that.
Well, the agency will have to get me a room anyway, so I imagine part of it's paid from my agents out of my travel fees.
That's probably true. There was also an unwritten rule that I half shared the room with Bella, but that I slept in Mike's room. But my stuff stayed in Bella's room, and I was only in Mike's room when he was there. So it's not really my room.
No, you may sleep there, but that is it only.
Yes. It's like a marriage in the 17th century.
Yes.
With the exception of that moment, Mike and the rest of the band were all in their rooms having a rest, and Bella and I were hanging out in our room. You can't see this, but I did
Yes.
the little things with my fingers. But I was starting to feel terribly
Quotation
bored.
marks.
Quotation marks. Are you bored? I asked Bella.
So bored.
We're not normally bored together. What's going on?
I think it has something to do with being on tour with the band, but instead, we're sitting in a hotel room without the band.
That checks out. Mike said stay in the hotel, not the room. So we can go see what's happening downstairs, seek out some fun there.
Ooh, I'm sure there has to be a spa.
That's so you. Immediately like, ooh, spa, yeah.
Yes! Spa day!
We can see how it works. Maybe it won't be too expensive.
I haven't been paid for my last job yet, so funds are running a little bit low currently.
How are you getting paid for this one?
Weekly. But a bit like when you do theatre, should be in a few days.
Let's go! I jumped up, itching to find something to do. After making sure we had the key card for the door, we exited the room. When we passed Mike's door, I suddenly had a different, much crazier, but much more fun idea. Do you want to sleep with Mike? I asked Bella. At first, she looked staggered. Then she burst out laughing.
I think we both know the answer to that. But in case there's any doubt, of course I do. Why do you ask?
I just had a great idea of what we could do. Bella sucked her breath in through her teeth.
You want to have a threesome with Mike?
You know me so well.
Don't you think it'd be better if Mike suggested this?
Why are you so dang nervous? He's going to agree.
He'll agree to you. We have no idea if he's even attracted to me.
I snorted so hard, I imagined I could hear it reverberating off the walls.
Not dramatic at all.
Nope. Look at me. I twirled in a circle. If he's attracted to me, he'd definitely be attracted to you.
I'm not even going to validate that self-deprecation with an answer.
But you get what I'm saying. Besides the fact that you have a dancer's body and blue eyes, the rest of us is quite similar, no? Both blonde, busty, hippie. Like, why wouldn't he be attracted to both of us?
I relent enough for you to ask him.
Yes! I celebrated. You always give in to my schemes.
To be fair, I agree mostly before I even know what's going on.
Yeah, I should have just gone, hey, do you want to do a fun thing? And then you would have said yes before I explained.
Exactly. How it usually goes.
Exactly. And that trust means so much to me.
How will we get in? It's locked. We'll have to knock and...
My room too, I winked. I have a key card. I love that I have a key card.
Yes.
It's a terrible idea. Whose idea was that? He should know better.
He should know better.
I stuck it in the door and walked in confidently. Bella followed. I think after this, he's definitely going to not give me a key card again.
Never again. Or maybe. Although...
We'll see. Anyway, go on, Bells.
No. Shit.
Bella whispered furiously as we very quickly came upon Mike asleep on the bed, wearing only his boxers.
Nikki, he's asleep.
So? I whispered back. We'll wake him up gently and...
No. We're leaving. He'll have our asses for this.
Isn't that what we want? I teased her.
You know what I mean.
If we just silently get on the bed and start giving him head... Sounds like a bad poem. If we get on the bed and start giving him head. Of course, we're all doing all this with him just like right next to us asleep.
Right there. My God, Nikki. He may let you do that, but I need his consent.
Well, I can start and then... What the fuck are you two doing here? Oh shit, he was so northern. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Now we're suddenly bringing me the horizon. Sorry. Oh gosh, that's the first time we've said an actual band name.
Oh, it
Oops.
is.
Are we allowed?
We're allowed. I think we're allowed to mention people
By the way, guys, we've now figured out this is not Bring Me the Horizon, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have said their name.
Yes.
Anyway,
Definitely
it's fine.
not. Well, what happened to confirm, neither confirm nor deny?
Oh shit. Well, I confirm. At least there's one band it cannot be, and that's Bring Me the
Horizon.
Well, it was never going to be them. They're not American. So what are we doing? Okay. What the fuck are you two doing here? Bella and I both yelled in shock. Ah! Bella and I both yelled in shock and looked at Mike, who sat up on the bed and was watching us expectantly. Clearly up to no good, he added after our overreaction.
It was Nikki's idea.
Bella yelped almost immediately under his gaze. Oh, way to go, throwing me under the bus first chance you get. I scolded her. Then to Mike. Heart of a lion she has.
I did tell you waking Mike would be a bad idea.
I said we should. That's enough out of both of you, Mike interjected. Bella, I have no doubt that whatever is going on is surely Nicole's doing, so... That's just because you don't know her very well yet. She just hides behind poise and charm. And regardless of how intelligent I am, I always appear to be talking out of my arse. He had to chuckle, and so did Bella, apparently. Bella, please explain what is happening here.
Nikki wants to have a threesome.
Oh, Nikki does? You don't?
Of course I do, but that's not the point here.
You two want to have a threesome with me? Mike asked, more surprised than I imagined. Do you see anyone else here? I teased, showing around the room and chuckling. I'm just giving him a bit of his own medicine. Oh, ha, he said. Point for me? Hell no. You two snuck up on me while I was sleeping, like little creeps.
Of course we want to have a threesome with you, Mike. You're gorgeous.
Then she blushed. You see, I said to Mike, she has her silly moments too. You guys wanted to wake me up to have a threesome? Mike double-checked.
Nikki wanted to wake you up with a double blowjob.
Hey, I complained. Stop trying to get me into trouble.
But I told her it would be very unconsensual for me to join in on such a thing.
Such a thing. Like, it's so scandalous. Mike smiled knowingly, having overcome his surprise rather quickly. So that's what the furious whispering argument was about. We both looked appropriately embarrassed of ourselves.
Sorry, Mike. Well, get out of your hair. Come on, Nikki.
Wait, I didn't... Oh, sorry, that's not me. That's Mike. Mike wouldn't do that. Wait. I don't know. I feel like most guys, if they heard a double blowjob was on offer, they might be like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't say I wasn't interested. Mike stopped her. Yeah, like any guy would turn down a double blowjob. So far, it sounds like Nicole wants to do it and you're not sure.
No, I want to. I'm sure.
I laughed at her and she punched my shoulder. See, I said to Mike, we're not so different. She's just British. Both of them laughed. What time is it? Mike asked himself, grabbing his mobile. It was 2:00. There's time, he told himself. But Bella, you should know that the way I have sex most of the time is...
Don't worry, Mike. I'm deeply familiar with kink.
She's a brat herself, I told him. Since we haven't gone through the ins and outs, are you happy to use the traffic light system for safe wording?
No problem. Plus, Nikki has given me a very descriptive details of everything you've done with her.
Oh, has she? Mike's gaze hardened on me. Well, best friend and on tour, I said quickly. That's allowed, right? He chuckled. Yes. Now stop trying to get me into trouble, I complained to Bella.
Like you don't want to be in trouble.
They both said at the same time, and all of us laughed again. Show me what you were going to do to wake me up, Mike told us, and stop standing around.
And that's where we're ending it, peoples.
I'm a bit annoyed that we're ending it here because now I've forgotten what actually happens after this. Yes. And before we finish off today's episode, we would very much like to give a shout out to some of our adoring fans who've been sending us messages and been following us from the beginning. And we just like to do a little shout out and say thanks very much for that. So, a big shout out to Hannah Price.
Yes, Hannah, we love you. Thank you.
Little shout out to Morse.
Morse. Woo! A little shout out to Joe Chohong. I might not have said that right.
And a little shout out to Sylvia.
Yes, Sylvia, we love you. You little unicorn, you.
And then there are a few people who would like to remain anonymous for obvious reasons.
Yes. But we thank you too.
We thank you so much. You know who you are. You know who you are.
Well, after this is episode 9. Thirsty, thirsty brats. As if that's any clue as to what's going to come.
Well, I guess it involves the two of us being thirsty.
Pussy. Very thirsty.
Oh, gosh.
So, yes, after this being part 3 of one evening, we have now moved on to part 1 of the next day. Part 2 of that day comes next week.
Yes. We all have the deep recaps are there for a very good reason because we go through a lot of stuff, and this is only a 4-week tour, right? Well, I mean it is long, but in that time we go through so many things, and sometimes an episode is a literal 2 hours of a time. Yeah, you know, this is going to be long.
Part of the reason that we cut it off at certain points is that sometimes we're like, oh, maybe we should do that whole bit for a new episode. But then suddenly the other episode is only going to be 10, 15 minutes. And we're like, that's a bit shortchanging you guys. So we like to leave you on a little cliffhanger.
Not that I think you wouldn't come back at this point. I mean, if you've made it to episode 8, I'm not even sure you need cliffhangers anymore.
Well, I think everyone needs a cliffhanger every now and again in their life just to be like, what?
Yeah. I suppose it's not quite the cliffhanger we thought. We should have stopped before Mike actually agreed to the threesome, because now everyone just knows.
That would have been smart.
Something's gonna happen.
We are dumb.
No,
dumb
we are not. No, we are not dumb. We just don't want to take away all the juice.
Yes.
The juice has to be worth the squeeze.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging on to everything